Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me Matt, we have a 2v2 for you all here on Düsseldorf. With victory points, I'm getting a lot of victory point matches and I'm liking to see that. It's on the Eastern Front today, so I suppose this isn't Düsseldorf, but who cares? Let's go through the players. We have Babelgun without a command choice yet, and KDFS as rival straight out of the gate for the Soviet Union. It should be interesting. Going for double sappers early, okay. Represent the Germans today. We have Pan first above and SS without a commander choice. And Atikin as Infanterie Division for the Wehrmacht. Probably a pretty decent choice in an urban environment, because Infantry gets a lot of good infantry choices. Oh, looks like we have a choice here. Looks like it is Motor. So Rifle and Motor move into this German city in the name of the Soviet Union. Oh, we have an early rifle command. Looks like KDFS might go for Fontoviki rather than conscripts early game. At least what I'm guessing, or something. Yeah, indeed Fontoviki. Going for some more professional troops. You know, the Soviets are already blocking off parts of the map, evidently. But this is a victory point match, so they have to move out and actually grab territory. Well, you generally do in combat heroes anyway if you want any resources. Especially in Spearhead. But the buff that says us move to the train station early to try and keep it under control, and indeed they're going to try and stop these conscripts with some early game fire. Try to prevent the Russians from moving further into the city. Somewhere in eastern Germany or something. After the Sturmgrenadiers setting up behind cover here. Sturmgrenadiers are pretty damn good base infantry, probably the best base infantry that any faction gets. Very costly though compared to any other base infantry. Volksgrenadiers are getting some good shots here on the conscripts, force them off. Very good there. Fontoviki is now going to be arriving. So the more professional Soviet soldiers will be here to lead the front line in the center. They got behind the destroyed tank there. Oh, conscripts managed to move into the train station down here, but I think they're just going to get slowly killed here by all the fire. Yep. These Sturmgrenadiers are in a very good position. Including their Kar-98s. As more Soviets move up, just double sappers now, but Babel is down to just 2 sappers. They've lost all their conscripts. That's a very costly thing early on, but Soviets can handle losses more than other factions. Fontovik is pushing the Volksgrenadiers back. More Volksgrenadiers arriving. Let's get behind this destroyed Panzer IV. Oh, and some more Volksgrenadiers inside the church. Molotov on the Fontoviki, but after that they're gonna run back. Soviets too cold an orphan point here. This old fountain. But the Germans are now going to try and secure the victory points. We have one Soviet sapper down here. We also have some Fontoviki arriving here. Alongside some new conscripts. So it's getting a Maxim for the northern flank. Probably needed. Fontoviki sitting up behind some heavy cover. Sappers to supplement as well, behind some light cover here. But I think the Germans have dug in pretty well with their Volksgrenadier. But the Fontoviki actually get some good shots in. So they're focusing the sappers first of all. The Soviets are building up for a push down here. Sturmgrenadiers are present. They're waiting for the Fontoviki to arrive. I think I'm trying to overrun, but... Oh, looks like Panfire's gone for Sturm, I think. That is indeed Sturm. Which could be pretty good in urban and combat. Potentially. So it's going to try and move around, but the Germans got some good eyes on them. You know, the Volksgrenadiers still hold here. Fontoviki cannot last much longer. Oh, Sappers and Pioneers getting really close here. Neither side is actually stopping up. And I feel like, oh yeah, now the Pioneers are going to have it to their advantage. The Sappers could probably have stopped up and killed the Pioneers there. That's the extra man and the guy with the... Oh, the guy with the pistol is still doing a good job. There we go, he's done though. Because the MP40 mowed them down. Germans will now be able to threaten the northern flank. So it's a flank from the south here with more weapons, including a flamethrower. PPSA on the Fontoviki as well. Trying to get some suppressive fire in. Good. Zappos is just waiting for something. Fontoviki getting... Oh, that's a still Hanganade. Oh, that's a pretty good throw too. Nope, the cover covered most of it. Grenade going out. I don't think the Russians are gonna get out of this one. Yeah, that's a very bad retreat path. That's a dead sapper. You know, the Fontoviki gonna try and get to a safer retreat path. The Sturm Grenadiers definitely did their job there. Maxim setting up to cover the central victory point, but the Germans are now taking over the northern one. Oh, we do have an MG waiting here. Suppressing the Fontoviki as they try to make it towards the point.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
But we have support weapons Campanea coming up here. Brits are slowly taking up for more and more equipment. Maxim arriving on the southern flank here for the Soviet Union. We do have a machine gun waiting over here, another MG-34. The Soviets do have their munitions and fuel for now, so they're not behind point-wise in resources, but they are losing victory points rapidly. The Germans are going to go for the munitions point, though. Fontoviki might plan to go inside the church. Well, Fontoviki arriving. Fontoviki charging up towards the train station here. The PPSHs. NG-34 can get some shots in. Yeah, I don't think the Russians want that fight. So we have a fighting down here. Folks are going to start to move up and Maxim suppress them. But the Germans are now taking the munitions point. Brits are pushed back down here by the train station again. Maxim's trying to do his best here. But the Germans inside the train station, that's actually getting some pretty good shots out, and they turn it into an HQ. They're definitely going to be staying there for a while. Oh, we have MG-30s being upgraded here on the Storm Grenadiers. Being upgraded if you're playing as Sturm. I think it's a machine gun that can actually fire on the move if they're not sprinting. Which makes it surprisingly good. Only has 30 rounds before they have to reload it though. And there's a flamethrower nearby. We do have some Odan on the field, some Soviet elite infantry.
Mortar team reports ready for combat.
The Brits are securing the center here. We have a mortar for the infantry, and the Germans are getting behind the lines here. The Soviets can move to intercept that. Maxim set inside the church. These Fosgrenadiers could end up being overrun here. Yeah, that's a grenade. But the Fosgrenadier is going to make out of that one. Fontoviki a lot more accurate after all. Against conscripts, they could probably have made it, but these are not conscripts. But the Soviets need to get a victory point, I say. 48 being set up over here. Soviets are having a little bit of trouble on the southern flank. They do have a mortar arriving. Maxim inside the church here. But the Germans know they are in there. Sturmgewehr being handed out to the Volksgrenadier, which is a unique upgrade if you're playing as infantry. Can actually make your Volksgrenadiers very good. Bunker being set up here by the Germans, probably to help cover the area. But with the train station now as a forward HQ, it'll certainly help the Waffen-SS, and that is a very bad spot for the mortar. It seems there's like an invisible wall here.
Marking and targeting of vehicles.
Blocking some of the mortar shells.
IL-2 ready for reconnaissance.
Looks like the Russians gonna try and secure this front, but Postgrenadier with Sturmgewehrs are present, which I don't think the Fontoviki are prepared for yet. Oh, the Germans are gonna go for it. And the Russians are not prepared. Oh wait, that's a crossfire! Good use of the Fontoviki, they're splitting them up like that. And then hunting down the one with the Sturmgewehr. One flasher though. Almost killing one of them. Sometimes people are surprised how good Fontoviki are compared to conscripts, and it really does show that they are professional troops compared to the conscripts. They can go toe-to-toe with most German infantry. Molotov there. That's going to allow the Fontoviki to secure the point. Panzer IV, F1 are going to be arriving for the infantry. Russians are still trying to threaten the train station here. Mortar certainly helping somewhat, I think. And indeed, they became a machine gun bunker. Rifle grenades going out. But the Russians do secure this point down here, getting a little bit more to work with. Mthis pulling back. Don is just waiting up here with no weapon upgrades yet. The point up here is going back into German hands. The Russians decide to pull back for now. We do have a lieutenant of the infantry arriving. MG30 down here. They're reloading it. Remember, the MG30 only has 30 rounds before it has to reload, so it doesn't have the ability to fire fast. Not a lot of sustained firepower. But it is pretty good. Pretty decent. And the fact you can fight on the move is pretty freaking handy. Especially for a suppressive weapon. Uses the MT-44 model in game at the moment. Because you cannot mod it in custom models. But conscripts are behind cover here. Rifle grenade going out. Decent rifle grenade kills one of them. You can see the conscript socket aiming. Oh, Dawn are present here. And O'Dawn can hit them though. But looks like the Storm Grenadier makes it. Black Gun being set up here in the center. So the lieutenant setting up with behind this destroyed car. Lots of German infantry moving up towards him. The Surts are lacking in AC equipment at the moment. The Germans are suffering heavy loss to the Mthis and the lieutenant working together. Lieutenant is really boosting the firepower here. But the F1 is certainly a problem. Maxim still in the center. F1 really needs some infantry supports. We do see the Pegasus division being called in. The stormtroopers available to infantry. First, still gonna try and threaten down here, but the bunker has a pretty good side rate here. You could probably stop any infantry push for a while. We have a Krautmoor arriving. Problem is that the German super Panzerbüchse inside the train station. Black Gun now in the center here. Bunker's threatening the Soviets. The Krautmoor's gonna get in position. But the Panzerbüchse can't hit it. Yeah, and that takes out the 50 caliber quad. Gonna force it to back off. Mobility loss, that's not good. And there it goes. But the mortar has almost set the building on fire. If they keep doing that, that'll certainly help. 4 HQs up here by the Soviet Union. F1 pushing up aggressively. Trying to push the Russians off the machine gun area. Yep. Train station is on fire. Denying that to the Germans. Very good. That certainly helped them hold that area for a while. Black also covering the flank here. And the German mortar is also helping somewhat. That's a lot of Mthis. They have been upgraded with better AC grenades though. But this F1 cannot afford to get close. Building a high explosive. Decides to cancel it as it pulls back. It does have 3 machine guns now. High explosive hits the cover. Mthis is trying to flank here with some Storm Grenadiers to support. I think the Russians have to go in full retreat here. Gonna have a hard time holding. We do have a Siskin arriving. The train station is almost entirely collapsed. Valonian's being called in now. Cheap up around you can get if you're playing as a Sturm. Siskin is keeping that F1 back. But the Germans are securing more territory. The Russians still are needed to get some more victory points. I wonder what the Soviets are planning. They do have a T-34-76. That's probably going to hit for the southern flank. So the infantry is taking in the F1 for now. Officer got some sight here on the Waffen-SS troops. Still not the easiest path for the Soviets to push up on. Especially with that bunker there. They're trying to use the half-track for cover. Ooh, mortar suppresses. Overall, still, I think that T-3476 could do some work. The Panzerjäger still only have the Panzerbüchse. It could be upgraded to the Panzerschreck though. Postgrenadiers are pushing hard. There's like a service to stop them. Pushing very aggressively on this SIS. All the Soviet infantry still arriving. I think that SIS might be decrewed here. Well, they will be safe enough to Soviet lines. It looks like they don't actually manage to decrew it. T-34 now down here. And that's certainly going to be a little bit of a problem. And that half-track can actually still be saved. Panzerschreck is being upgraded now on the Panzerjägers, but that bunker is down, which is making an opening here for the Soviet Union. The Soviets could make use of that. Especially with the lieutenant arriving to buff the infantry. And with the Odon nearby too, they are very good. But the MG-30 armed squad is still doing its best here. The Lieutenant is also moving in on the flank. Good to see the Soviets are spreading out a little bit. If the Lieutenant gets on the flank here, that's certainly a problem. Oh, he's trying to get too close though. Of course, he does have a pistol. He killed one squad, that's a big loss. The Germans still forward here with their Volksgrenadiers. Alone inside the church in the center. So it's still pushed down here. Oh, grenade there though. Oh, and the Molotov on the Panzerjägers, killing them. But another Panzerjäger has arrived. RPD armed the Odon member still did a lot of work. Need to get him out of there, probably run this way and then retreat. He's staying there for too long, I think. There we go, he retreats. He might retreat the proper way. Looks like he might. Good for him. Well, the Germans are slowly being pushed out here by this weight of them. Soviets are very much at present. Going a Bandflash in the way will hit one of the Panzerjäger. But the Soviets are getting around the other street too. Alone is so far holding up inside the church here. Some Sturmgewehrs. Oh, out in the open, the Soviets are going to take losses to those Sturmgewehrs. Molotov going inside the church. Soviets are taking heavy losses with these pushes. Doing T-3476 here. And the Soviets need to secure some victory points. Russians are digging in somewhat here. There's the machine gun, but it's not pointed the right way. Might allow the Soviets to take the victory point here. Machine gun turning around. Now start ripping into these sappers. They will decapture the point at least. It's gonna limit the bleed of the victory points a little bit. F1 pushing up again. Stormtroopers now present here. Elite infantry available to infanterie. Can only have one enemy of the field at a time. First, I think they should be allowed to have several of them now that they no longer have the artillery ability. That's just my opinion, however. I suppose load. Oh, T-3476 shows up. I suppose will only destroy some of the cover. AT grenade kills it. Actually, I think the T-34 did. Stormtroopers might get mowed down here. No, they make it. T-34 is now threatening this part of the flank. Panzerjägers, I don't think can hit them from there. There's a building in the way. The Soviets still try to push up. The Germans are trying to use a lot of bunkers to limit the movement of the Soviets. And machine guns, of course. As you do. But the Soviets are getting more and more units slowly. Including a heavy mortar here, actually. That could certainly change this battle around. Depending on where they decide to use it. T-44 is doing his best. There's also a Rakettenwerfer here. I could kill it in one shot if it hits. Also, there's another Soviet lieutenant here. And there's a lot of firefights going on here along the streets. But so far the Germans are holding all the victory points they need. They just need to keep holding them. Oh, we also have a light infantry gun here for the infantry. It's hard to have an artillery drill, or is it just because it was aiming here? Oh, flamethrower here on the machine gun playing it out. But the Storm Grenadiers inside this building might kill the Sabers. They have more done on the battlefield. There's lack of machine guns to stop them this time. But there is still the Panzerjägers are similar. Machine gun sitting up though. You also have the Storm Pioneers rushing up to grab the machine gun. I don't think O'Donnell will be able to take it. Nope, they will not be able to take it. The few mortals that was on the point got killed. Most of it's on the flank though. O'Donnell pulling back. Also being in one of the buildings. Heavy mortars damaging the Wehrmacht front line. I think the Soviets need to push the northern flank here in order to get some points back, I'd say. But the heavy mortars definitely doing a good work already. And the Soviet 82nd mm mortar is also doing a good job down here. Veteran to 2 at the moment. Both sides are doing a little bit of mortaring to each other. Light infantry gun pushing up a little bit too far, getting in range of the Maxim, which it does not want to be in. Does manage to back off somewhat. Nope, it got killed. Smoke shield. Oh, very smart. And this unit could actually infiltrate if it starts sprinting. I think they're probably stealth now, actually. Not see through the smoke there. They'll probably just be able to hold fire and they'll be able to take the point safely. But the point is now going to be in Russian hands, which will certainly help the bleed a little bit. So Russians are pushing through the center. Most of it has been cleared, including the flak. Attack was also cleared. That's very little to stop this T-44, but some stone tools are nearby. Find that Panzerfaust. Almost destroying the T-44. But the Soviets could almost have taken the point there. Just need the infantry to be replenished and return to the front. The Soviets now hold the point down here at least. Jäger's also out in the open here with an MG-34. Elite light infantry available to the infantry commander. If you're playing with blizzard effects, they're actually immune to it, so they don't suffer issues from fighting in the cold. Which can actually be a pretty good, huge deal if you're playing in maps like that. You'll never freeze to death, as an example. They can operate far away from fireplaces or warm areas. Of course, very few people actually play with the cold tech effects, so there's that. But it's a nice little handy feature. Soviets get the same in the form of the Siberian troops if you're playing as tank destroyer. T-44 being repaired. We have some rifle guards surviving here. Elite rifle infantry available to the Soviet Union rifle commander. They can only have one of them at the field at a time. Pretty good infantry, can be equipped for all kinds of duties. We also have a major arriving here to oversee the front line. Okay. Soviets have like some higher level officers present. Maxim on the top here. Gives it just out of its range. But it will be able to cover the point. We do have a Panzer IV-H coming out here for the infantry. Handcraft centers being set up here by both German players. Remember, infantry does not have to pay for these two upgrades, for the infantry and support upgrades. They just need to have the Handcraft center up. They just get them for free as they take up, which can really help them sustain themselves late game and such. Germans are finally taking some more ground, but it's not the ground they need to take, I think. We also have a Feldfunkgerät coming up here. Basically a mobile radio station. Germans are going to try and move to take the point now. Nancy 4H reveals itself. But the Soviets are finally going to stop the bleed of their victory points now. The Germans are trying to block off this point up there. Smoke shells in the way to allow them to capture the point. Jaegers could get shot to pieces here once the smoke clears, but they're getting a little bit too close for my liking. They are from grenades though. Good grenades at that. At least one of them are. But once the smoke clears, they get shot down by a lot of other Russian stuff. Another T-34, they might want to try to overrun this German position. Udon is also present. They're trying to take out the pack team. Oh, by H is getting some good shots in. Oh, they take them out. Now the H is probably a little bit more vulnerable. That's with all the Soviets pushing up through the street. We have an MG-34 sitting up back here. The Soviets deciding to push very aggressively together. Good to see. Teamwork. Bazooka is also present on the Odon, but they're out in the open here. If it first not had any luck with its penetrations. Soviets are going to try and secure the northern point here again. Some of the Soviets are pulling back. Mthis remains under fire here from the Soviet mortar. I did a pretty decent job, that 82nd mm. But these Germans have brought mortars back to counterfight. Or just fire in the general vicinity. Oh, they're taking out the Maxim actually. Because they want to take the point again, I guess that makes sense. Rifle veterans were pushed back now. But the Soviets now have all 3 victory points, at least for a little bit. Then there's also present MG-34 sitting up. Gotta prevent the Soviets from remaining the fight there. Do have a recon team arriving. Panzer's grabbing the Maxim. Germans using the buildings up here. But the Frontoviki are in a pretty good cover position. And Frontoviki, as I've said, are not weak. Especially with a DPM and V-24. And they dodge it, very nice. These Frontoviki are getting a lot of work done. Germans gonna go for the point again. Officer cannot grab the Maxim. He's getting up here behind cover the best he can. Yeah, trying to deny the Germans from getting it. And so far it seems to be working. This Sis gun is unfortunately hitting all the shells here.
We are losing territory.
Looks like the Germans will be able to take the point. At least decaptured because more Frontoviki are arriving. Balloon is pushing up as well. Oh, they might get too close to this recon. Recon should probably open fire, but it might be a little bit too late for them. Yep, they got mowed down there.
A squad of infantry has been killed.
Instant grenade going out here. I think that was a rifle grenade. Hold on, engineers up here with their PPSAs with drum magazines. That's not going to be enough. The Germans are just everywhere here. Oh, mowing down that Frontoviki in seconds. But the Valonians are dead. If the mortar would hit that directly, that would kill them all, I think. At least do a lot of damage. Stormtrooper's moving up there now. This veteran Frontoviki is still trying to do his best. But this time they have to pull back, I think. T-34 is ready there to fight again. T-34-45 coming out here for the Soviet Union. Panzer IV arriving here for the Sturm tactics. Does not arrive with high explosives. And does not actually get access to high explosives, I think. It's not the best against the infantry, but it'll suffice. T-34 there still needs repairs. Heavy mortar's done a pretty good job here. That's much pushing down here. That's like our Soviet AT equipment. 82mm mortar still does its best. Even being upgraded with firing drills, gonna increase its rate of fire.
T-34 ready for combat.
Forward to the HQ is also present. The officers has been equipped with PPSA just now. Actually, that's not a PPSA, that's a PPS 43. Like the, basically being the next evolution of the PPSH to my understanding. More mass produced and easier to produce, basically, with it being mostly stamped metal. 85 has arrived there. Needs to get moving to action though.
Our machine guns has been silenced.
Oh, Don almost killed the Panzer IV. They might actually still do it. Yep, they get it. That's that Panzer IV. Very good job, Don. I suppose you shouldn't underestimate the elite infantry. Especially not in tight corridors that is urban environment. Ooh, I don't think the riflemen want this fight. They had to kill 2 people very fast though, but now the Jägerskons get shots in. And those veterans are dead. I should probably not call them veterans, I should probably just call them guards. They're essentially meant to be guard infantry. Oh, did the Soviets lose their mortar? They did. Oh, that sucks. That's a little bit of a big loss for the Soviet Union, I think. Light infantry guns are now opening fire. And a mortar as well. Commander bunker going up behind here. Maybe mortar has to be a little bit cautious. But you can continue down here. Oh, Molotov. Good Molotov at that. Like, conscripts can still be dangerous with all those Molotovs.
One of our AT guns has been neutralized.
The Germans, Mthis actually has no infantry. They only have the Sturm Pioneer. That's a big issue, I think. Even if the fire moving, we also have a Katyusha arriving. Although I'm not sure how good the Katyusha is in urban combat. There's a lot of things that rockets could hit. That is not your intended target. Hands for driving out the main street. T-34, 76 to intercept. Misses. The H will technically win that fight, but there's a chance the T-34, 76 could penetrate. So the Soviets have forced the Germans to retreat up here. They're re-securing the northern flank with several guards and even a lieutenant with a DPM. Lots of work.
Yes, comrade.
Soviets are pushing up to the northern point here. German Wehrmacht is pulling up with its infantry now. Only have a lot of elite infantry and experienced infantry at the moment. Katyusha firing. Hitting some of the Waffen-SS, but I don't think it did enough. It should probably have hit around here, but you cannot really control where the rockets hit after all. It's a very random weapon. Mortar's doing a pretty decent job though. Counter-Brass is doing a pretty decent job for the Germans, however. Oh, T-34 takes out the H up here. I think it was an H. And that was the H. The A is reconsidering. Probably got some help for the Sissy, actually.
T-34, crude loaded and ready.
We have another J here arriving for the Waffen-SS.
Enemy movement on the flank.
85 is on the move on the flank. Looks like the Soviets are going to try and repair the Kraut mower. Will certainly be a little bit of a shock, I think. Kettenwerfer is moving around. This thing is very lethal, by the way. Fires an 8.8 centimeter rocket. Explosive kills and destroys the bunker. Oh, Kettenwerfer setting up and takes out the 85. That's the power of the Raketenwerfer, everyone. But the Soviets do have 2 victory points at the moment. The Germans need to be the ones to push.
Squad, shot it. We are receiving new orders.
That's a lot of veteran stuff, though, thanks to the Kampfkraft Center and Beacon Infanterie, so all support teams and all infantry squads will arrive at veterancy free. Because they're the final tier. Like, it's a very good thing to have. A lot of heavy mortar riding here for the northern flank. Looks like they lost the first one.
New T-34 standing by.
It looks like it can even be recruited, unless I missed where it is.
Ready to deploy.
82nd millimeter still doing its best. Proudmoore has been recruited. Oh, the Siscon is also being used as an artillery piece, I think. Is that something else? Oh, it's the Su-76! Yeah, that works as an artillery gun too, because it's basically just assists on tracks. I think it's the exact same gun, actually. Oh, the infantry tried to push up here, but they decided against it. Oh, because of all the DPMs they ran into. Like, Fontavigo with DPMs do a pretty decent job. Counter mortar barrage, a counter mortar present here for the Wehrmacht. Panzer are being spread around. Class running around as well.
Panzer IV ready. Red Army at your service. You need fresh conscripts have arrived.
More conscripts arriving here for the Soviet Union. You have a little bit of an armor presence spread around as well. Several T-34-76 is just waiting. The Panzer IVs are deciding where they want to go. Fighting for the center here again. While the MG-34 gets shot at the lieutenant.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
As he tries to get behind cover.
Standing by.
Ooh, Katusha is pretty close here. It might do a much more accurate barrage in this area. Can almost fire. See what they do with it. Soviets don't have enough munitions though to fight, I can see. I think it's 75 for a full barrage. They could just go for a short barrage. Depends on what they prefer. 16 rockets or 8 rockets. I suppose it'll be the full barrage shortly. German infantry is pushing upwards. We're going for the north point again, but they're going to run into double DPM. Suppressing one of the Jaegers. Panzer IV is also moving northwards. Supplement the German infantry.
Panzer IV is ready for battle.
But one Jaeger got mowed down there by the DPMs. Stormtroopers also in trouble. Here comes the Panzer IVs though. And the German tank trap is actually being a problem for the Germans. It's just not fired yet. Udon is securing the point though. Good smoke barrage, by the way, by the mortar. Really helps. The 34th moving to intercept up here. Oh, good flanking shot. But they don't do that much damage though, thanks to the side skirts. But now the Panzer force to be cautious. This is not the best kind of environment for tanks to be in. It's very dangerous. Oh yeah, that's a dead Panzer IV. T-34 on the flank did all the work. Germans trying to push up for the victory point. You have an Aufklar present that could do it. Oh, he's not in the point just yet. And the Germans now securing the southern point again. This just not fired yet. Oh, packs are moving up now. Get some good shots in on the T-34s. Half-class also securing the point. They're trying to go for like a quick triple cap, I think, to try and stop these Soviets. Just pushing conscripts in though. But the Soon-Gewehr will just stop them, I think. Good Molotov, actually. Denying that cover. Keeping them out in the open. But the Germans will capture the points. Germans have a triple cap again. Certainly, I think, is a big problem for the Soviet Union. We have an 88 being set up as well. So the Germans want to deny any Soviet tanks going down that road. Our Soviets could sneak up with the Udon engineers here. But that will kind of reveal they have a stealth unit. But the Soviets are running out of points. They're using 3 points per tick. Which is a fairly high number considering the amount of troops at the moment.
Only 200 points remain. Double your efforts.
Yeah, even as the announcer says, double their efforts. The Soviets need to double their efforts. They have the units for it. They just need to push. Like if a Katyusha fires here this close, that might do a lot of terror. Oh, looks like we have a Soviet push for the center. Half class got spotted. Rifle guards are pushing forwards. And to secure the point. Looks like it's working out for them so far. Even throwing a grenade there. That's a smoke grenade, very smart. As the Soviets prepare for the push with their tanks. But the 88 is set up back here. Of course, the Soviets don't know that yet. And we're down here. Maxim's trying his best. Panzer 4J moving up. Bravo got taken up by the Panzer 4J. But the Mthis is down to very few units. Center is in Russian hands again. Katyusha on fire. Doing a fair amount of damage here, at least I think. Took out a machine gun. Udon can out-threaten this Panzer 4J, but in the front it does machine guns. Remember, it's very hard to attack a tank from the front, bazooka misses. T-34s are encroaching on the south now. Or a T-34 anyhow. He does have vision on it thanks to the Udon here. But it's in a very bad spot. The Panzer 4 could get a good shot here. Doesn't penetrate. Smoke in on the point, very smart. Oh boy. Germans pushing up infantry. But in this is. Not good for the SIS team. Going them down in seconds.
All of our troops have been lost.
But Soviets has shown securing this victory point. Soviets just need to push very aggressively at this point, I feel, and get points back. No, they got pins. They cannot capture it. If you're pinned, you cannot capture a point. Germans might be close enough to capture the point here again soon themselves. But right now, neither side is bleeding because they have a 1-to-1 victory point-wise.
HMG
82nd millimeter mortar is doing its best. 82 millimeter, I mean. Russians now moving for the point here, which will certainly give them a little bit of a head start. One edge. You have a KV-1E arriving here for the Soviet rifle. So a KV-1 with increased armor. Panzer 4H pushing up through the main road. Also packs on the side to support. Maxim has to pull back. Very slowly. Either side. Oh, Siskan got a good shot there on the Panzer 4, forcing it back. But the Germans are quickly moving to try and secure the center point here. Maybe they need to take it. Oh, there's a booby trap here. Only pinning them, but they will be able to take it soon. But Germans are moving a lot of stuff up to the center here. They want to keep it on the German hands or take it. T-34 trying to flank. Double pack is turning. Taking out one pack though. T-34 manages to back off safely. K1E is about to arrive. No, it gets taken out anyway. But it continues down here as well with Belarusian Irregular sneaking up now. Okay. K1E leading the way. But even that is a hard fight for the K1E to fight. But we've seen K1s do a lot more. They also have very high armor. Very, very high frontal armor, the KV-1E. As we can see, it's very hard for the German tanks to actually deal with it. They do with the 88 back here, but it needs to get in range of the 88. It might do if it keeps driving forwards. He is going to take a shot. Doesn't penetrate. He should not stay there though. Another shot might penetrate here. They're actually loading APCR. No penetration. The K1E doesn't care. Oh, it didn't penetrate again. High explosive loaded. Doesn't hit though. It's really trying its luck here. Doesn't penetrate again. The frontal armor of this K1E is insane. But how long will the luck last? There we go, that's one penetration right there. But the Soviets have also overrun the southern flank thanks to the Belarusians. But there goes, the K1E is down. But the Germans are now having a lot of issues on all the flanks. They're going to be able to secure the northern point though, I think. There's some mines here? Oh, there's some Sprengminen. Cheeky. 85 arriving though. There's still another 80 down here for the Waffen-SS. You're also getting stormtroopers now, armed entirely with Sturmgewehrs. Very lethal weapon. But so far the Soviets have completely stopped their bleeds and are slowly bleeding away at the Germans instead. But the rifle commander needs to get their troops out on the front line again. Katyusha firing. Rockets not hitting the best spots at the moment. Oh wait, never mind. Did something there. Did some damage to a tank. So we definitely have a good eyes on the point now, thanks to the Belarusians. Pioneers will try to move to take the central point here. There's nothing to stop. Oh, they're going to try and take the packs first. Makes sense. They want the AT equipment. But the Soviet infantry is forming up again. Germans need to keep a careful eye on this point now. Oh, they're ordering ambush positions. Stormtroopers and Jaegers been ordered to hold their fire and wait for the best time. Probably get them up here and hiding or something. Oh, nice little spots one could use. Let's see, the SU-76 is firing again. Jagdpanzer are going to be arriving for the infantry. Panzer 4J is ready to move. Or almost ready to move, but it's going to move out anyway. Getting into range of a Maxim. And the Cisco is still present here. Another 4 HQs by the Soviets. They can reinforce at the front line. I think a command bunker would have sufficed. Because I think that actually has a much further reinforced range as well. I guess they just want another 4 HQ though, which is I think more expensive though. But I'm not sure. Ah, we have an Alf class sneaking in the central point again. Very cheeky here from the Germans. Oh, but they were not ordered to hold fire. That's a mistake.
We have casualties.
You really need to very much order your recon to hold fire. Else they'll just reveal themselves. It's a mistake some people make, and even I've made it before. You have a double KP-1E now. That's a lot of fire, armor and firepower here for the Soviet Union.
Ready.
45 arriving. Cisco to get shots here. If the Germans have noticed yet. They don't realize that the Russians can just see them thanks to the irregulars. There we go, a critical hit from the Cis there. So we still hold the majority of the victory points. They're preparing for a push up here. There's only the stormtroopers here for an ambush, which is not going to be enough. Especially with the sheer amount of units that's being pushed here. Throwing a grenade. Actually a Blenkorber. I think after they throw the grenades, yeah, they need to run. Good to see. They're doing some minimal damage. And why the fuck is it called? I forgot the name again. Blenkorber was actually poisoning the Vansoviki to the brink of death there, so very nice. Soviets have decaptured the point. Soon, if this keeps going, the Germans are going to be in the back foot. Basically, the SS southern flank is looking to be on the verge of collapse somewhat. They're losing a lot of their stuff. We have a lot of stormtroopers still around. Oh, both AT equipments got destroyed. That might have to be the opening that the Soviets were waiting for. We're just going through the center here. Okay, one East are driving up. Okay, one East needs to get closer though to penetrate. That'll also bring them in range of the 88. Jagdpanzer has a good penetration chance itself. And the frontal armor of the Jagdpanzer is pretty high. That's one KV-1 down. Jaegers did a decent ambush there, but just actually, that was not an ambush, they're just retreating. It's a Spangmian, I think. And that's a dead Jaeger. K1 is deciding to not press the defense at the moment. Another KV-1E. Lots of KV-1E is going to be arriving now. I guess the Soviets have decided that they want to go for heavier armor. But the Jagdpanzer is pretty good at dealing with heavy armor. And its intended purpose, as you can see. It lacks any anti-infantry capabilities though. It has no machine guns. It's entirely designed to deal with armor. And it will do that pretty good in this frontal engagement. Stormtroopers tried to get up close on the 85s, but didn't work out fully. But I think the Germans need to push for this point. Because they're losing a lot of points still. Jagdpanzer preparing to drive up again. Let's keep going overhead so the Soviets know what they're doing. Flares are coming for this mortar, I think. Yeah, this mortar keeps using flares, that's very good. People are using their abilities. The Soviets keep the guards up here, but then they just keep a hold of the point. Katyusha firing again. Probably down here. Yep. Destroying another HQ. Katyusha's done a pretty decent amount of damage here. Despite being in a city and everything, which is not its intended area. Max is sitting up behind these sandbags now. Sturmtiger is going to be coming out though. Which could certainly change the battle somewhat. And the Jagdpanzer is slowly just driving the KV-1s back. If you find a flank, they'll just turn around and deal with it. Oh, it decides to back off. Didn't want to risk it. Off blasting up, they need to be able to hold their fire though. The Russians are sneaking up here. But they're not gonna last long, I think. But now the 85s are showing themselves. And that's lack of AT equipment because they've lost it all. They do have a Panzerjäger. High explosive being loaded. Oh! That's painful. That was basically all of Panther's infantry just dying to a high explosive 85mm shell. Artillery going in the center here by the Soviet lieutenant. I think. Not sure who called it in. Actually, looks like there was no barrage. Huh. And just holding 1 or 2 or 3 victory points is not going to help them. Soviets so far still have the upper hand. Will the Sturmtiger be enough to turn it around, though, is the question. Is it the wonder weapon the Germans think it is still? I suppose time shall tell if they will get it in time. And they're trying to destroy the packs. Not really doing a good job of it, though. They seem to keep missing. Jaegers and Stormtroopers pushing up here. Many Russians still in the way. They decide to pull back as well. Second 88 being set up somewhere. Oh, they're calling both angles. Okay. They're trying to deny the Soviets to get any advantage point with their tanks. Any route they could take. But 88s are very costly to have around. But the Sturmtiger will hit the front line. Here it is. We'll see if it'll be enough. Darkseeker pushing up for a shot. Nope, Panther decides to drop out. Okay. I guess this is gonna be the end of the match then.
One of our forward structures has been destroyed.
Because they decide that Stormseeker was not gonna be enough to save them. Yeah. I guess it's just up to Atikin now to hold, but this is, I think, is basically the end of the match. Again, at least to a point, it feels like it. Especially with the service pushing up down here. Like, good match so far, I'd say, but with someone dropping, it's a little bit of a shame. Although I can understand why they decide to drop, because sometimes it's just, you know, too much, and the playback is over. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this match in the urban combat here. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye!